this guy right in the back of the room just jamming away on his harmonica. I was like, get that man up on the stage right now. So we gave him a harmonica solo and just jammed along for a bit.
Yeah.
It's one of those I wish I could play. I feel like I'm really dressed to play the saxophone right now.
Yeah.
Really looks like he's actually going to go out and ask people if they've paid their taxes.
Yeah, I'll be knocking on the door asking for the
somehow
TV license next.
Yeah.
He was not even kidding, sprinting up and down the stage like he was still like in his 30s.
I think it should be just us all from Regional 1 all playing the accordion.
Oh god, that's a lot like I always thought it looked like Keith Lemon.
Looks like Keith Lemon sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Actually, with someone who decided to ask Chris Jericho how big his cock was, but
Fruit and vegetable, and then we all played Farming Simulator for a bit. Which
I've been playing
really
Farming Simulator lately.
right, so that bit we're probably going to have to bleep.
Yeah.
So that's how we've got an editor, actually. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Uncentered Week. I'm still Riley with another tie on. And Tom, my co-host. We have some guests today as well, don't we?
Hey.
Shit.
Hey.
Oh no, he's gone. I had such a great intro as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's not moving.
No, he is gone. Fucking it. Oh, I'm going to keep going. Today we're joined by the lovely Aaron and Simon from Regional 1.
Hello.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
How we
How are
doing?
you two doing today?
Very
Thank
well.
you. How are
indeed.
you?
I'm great, thank you very much. I'm feeling extra fly. I thought big occasion. This will be for the 1 year special, so I'm dressing to suit the occasion.
You're looking dapper, sir.
Thank you. This episode will be released on a Tuesday, so you are the second of the 4 bands in Uncentered Week. So
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
I'm going to put the other Tom in the waiting room.
I'm assuming he just explained everything. So, yeah, how's your day going currently?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good, we're doing relatively good. I'm hoping Riley explained everything to you while I've briefly tried to sort out my internet.
Oh, I did. Don't worry.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, let's take some time to get into these questions then.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Smashing.
Yeah, just like the hour before, I've been trying to start every episode with a small little anecdote, a little story. However, just like last episode, nothing has happened in the span of the hour since we recorded the last one. Actually, this is about as interesting as it gets. My nan was here, and my nan made a real nice bacon sandwich, and I ate that, and fuck all else has happened. So it's kind of...
no, we have had some good news in between that brief interval that we had.
Oh, Tom, go ahead. You can tell an anecdote.
Yeah, so had a nice little break earlier. Go to see my sister. She's gone. Oh, I might have a band for you to have on. I went, okay. Let me hear it. She's given me her phone. Let me look at who it is. I've noticed one key part of that name. The last name was Hetfield. And I went, I double checked. Like, I gave her the phone back. I went, did I read that right as if to say Hetfield? She went, yeah. And I went, so he could be... I was a bit oddly confused. And then I had to do some research. It turns out that is James Hetfield's son.
Yo,
Oh, wicked.
that'd be pretty sick, huh?
That would be insane. And this isn't coming out for another 2 months. So depending if that's been confirmed or not by the time this came out, this has either been bleeped or some confetti has just came down.
Yeah.
So, but I guess I'll open up the floor to you two now. If you've got any small little anecdotes or stories you'd like to share at the beginning of the podcast.
Ooh, have you got one, Aaron?
Off the top of my head, I don't know if you want to go.
I've not really done anything today.
Yeah. It's been a very chilled day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sun's got to me, I guess.
Yeah.
Been relaxing, hit the gym,
Mhm.
drinking fine wine, taking in the rays.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Fair enough.
Right, in that case, let's get through to the good old questions.
All right.
So, I'd like to start it off with, how did Regional 1 become, how did they come to where they are today?
Yeah, so Regional 1 originally was sort of my university project through college as well, actually. So we were working on just writing some tracks so that we could get through the course, which is kind of the boring side. But then eventually it evolved into something much more. Having finished university, not retaining kind of any of the original members, actually, we sort of started thinking, okay, maybe we could take this seriously. Maybe we could go into performing as a serious thing and actually hopefully eventually make a living out of it, get on the road, meet loads of crazy cool people, see loads of amazing places. So it's kind of our vehicle to do that, really. So we started writing a bunch of songs. We quite like the sort of dystopian themes, kind of riffing on what could happen in the future, all the weird technologies, kind of Black Mirror-y kind of things.
Yeah.
We thought, okay, I think we can make something out of this. And eventually we kind of tightened up the lineup. Aaron being the last member to join the band, actually, just before the lockdowns.
Yeah, I'm the new one.
Yeah, he's the newbie. But we were trying to get loads of gigs around that time, and the world shut down. And we had some releases kind of we were working on as well. So that was a nightmare. But following the lockdowns, we sort of tried to come out headstrong and just go for it. And I think so far it's been going pretty well.
Yeah, it's great.
Does seem like you have been doing quite well for yourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
All things considered, especially with the lockdown, like that impacted everyone really. So
It was a bit of a speed bump, obviously, I think, for everyone in this kind of industry and anyone traveling or anything like that. But what it did do is give us a bit of time to get to know Aaron, which was nice. So we spent a lot of time on Discord and on Zoom, just playing video games and chatting shit, to be honest.
Yeah, we sort of completely curtailed anything music because you all need to be able to get in the same room for that, really, and that's not going to work over Zoom, unfortunately. But it was great. It was we really all sort of got to know each other well, made great friendships out of it, and then as soon as obviously we could get back out there again, we just hit the ground running and haven't stopped really.
We're really lucky. Our first show back. First show back. What was it, Aaron? It was the old fire station in Bournemouth, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, man, that's a cool venue to play, man, for your first gig. That's really cool.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about like venues in Bournemouth, and apparently they're all really good. I was meant to come down there in December to see one of my friends' bands, but due to trains being absolute shit and then me getting the flu, it ended up not happening.
Bummer. Well, you must come down, man. It's good.
Certainly, man. Yeah, there's real scene.
I'll most likely be coming down. I'll most likely be coming down at some point this year.
Awesome. Well, let's know if you do.
Yeah.
Not sure when, but I will eventually try and get down there this year.
Awesome.
Certainly, man. Yeah, hit us up. We'll give you the tour of the venues.
Seeing as it's your guys' anniversary special, how did you guys get started?
Oh, well, how did we get started? I feel
we just
like
kind of came up with the idea, didn't we? Like, I came to you and went, you know what? I fancy just doing a podcast. Like, it'll be nice just for us to do something maybe once a week and just talk about random shit.
Yeah, Tom, you bring that up. I think I actually remember exactly how that conversation went. We were on the phone. I don't remember what we were doing. And he went, you know what? I think we should start a podcast. And I remember I went to him, oh, wow, Tom. So you're just like every other person who at one point has went, I think we should start a podcast. And then we did. So really, I'm just as hypocritical. But
the big leap's actually doing it, isn't it? That's a whole other thing. I
feel like everyone at some point has went, oh, I reckon we could start a podcast. It'd be great. Only difference is that we did, and it's not. But
and it's still going to this day.
Yeah, almost a year on.
I think it was like the first couple of months where we started, and we were kind of like on and off with it.
Yeah, we've got in a good rhythm now.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like proper good rhythm.
We sort of started trying to do some live streams, and we did it quite a lot throughout sort of late last year, but we've been a bit lazy on it this year. However, we've started that back up on a weekly now. Having like a bit of consistency, I think, helps with that. Gets conversations flowing as well. It's much easier, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel what also has made it a lot easier is that Tom and our main booker for bands, also called Tom, like, I mean, now we've doubled it up, so we record twice a week, or this time 6 times a week. But like now we've got more bands on, and like I always know, okay, I got a band here, we cannot miss it. Whereas before it was like, okay, we'll put a solo episode in here, and we might have a band on here. Like there is no, I just can't be asked, because we are always on the ball, always got something new. We have to release
We're always
here
scheduled
and here.
for something.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's absolutely awesome. Well, thank you very much for having us on. Appreciate
thank you very much for
No
coming.
problem at all. No problem at all. We enjoy having all these bands on because we get to find out how you exactly come to where you are and all that. And we just how all the reactions to the questions that we ask as well are just class.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Go for it. Sorry.
No, sorry. Tom, is it my question or your question?
Yes, we elongated my opening question there.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, Tom, I'm going to ask our questions backwards here. But what music do you listen to at the moment? Like, are there any particular bands or artists that you've been heavily in rotation?
Go for it, Aaron.
Not really. I find with myself, I sort of go through stages where I absolutely love a band, will listen to them continuously, and then I'll sort of go through more a sort of time of discovery, if you like to. I'm more listening to sort of playlists and stuff on Spotify and discovering new stuff. So there's no sort of set bands or anything, but it's just lots of different songs that sometimes can put you on the path to liking a new band or something. And I'm sort of in that at the moment. I'm just listening to a bit of everything really that gets chucked my way, and it's a good way to do it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, obviously it tends to be we're quite rock and metal centric, but so it tends to be sort of more that way. But sometimes a bit all sorts of genres really.
What about you, Aaron? I've been listening to a lot of the download playlists in preparation. As
are you like going as well?
Yeah,
oh,
man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll see you there. I'll probably
be in
I'll probably
Blue
see you there.
Camp, probably.
Yeah, Blue Camp's where it will be.
Yeah, shoot us a message, guys. Let's hang out. In the past, from the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm not sure where we're camping still, but we're not sure where yet. But
I was gonna go.
We'll try and. I think it's just me and a couple of my lot.
Yeah, I'm gutted because I really went. I was really planning on going this year because the headliners are all bands that I really like, but I've got mock exams and I can't really be out at the moment. Yeah, apparently the GCSEs are important or some shit. So
yeah, get through them.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll do really well in drama, just nothing else. So
yeah. It's the one that matters, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, then in terms of other stuff I listen to at the moment, I'm a big podcast listener, so I listen to a lot of different podcasts, a lot of different subjects. But in terms of music, weirdly at the gym I listen to Hans Zimmer quite a bit of classical sort of film music. I don't know why. I think it pushes you on to work harder. I don't know why, but yeah, that's my jam at the moment.
That's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Trying to find. Yes, that's that one. So, what bands do you think inspired Regional One? Like, in your opinion, do you think any bands have inspired your sound?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few. So, I'd say from purely a songwriting perspective, we're into bands like Blackstone Cherry, Shinedown, Avenged Sevenfold. But then the performance is a different kettle of fish again. I think me individually, I'm very inspired by obviously Freddie Mercury from Queen. He's very dramatic. I like that kind of thing. Bon Scott, the old AC/DC singer. I like their kind of style of performance, how they command the stage. So from a performance perspective, definitely these sort of quite, I guess, one being quite flamboyant, one being kind of more static, but also commanding the stage. I like a blend of the two. But yeah, what about yourself, Aaron, from a player perspective?
Well, from a playing perspective, I think, yeah, and certainly when we do writing from my style, I'm very much more come from a sort of a rock background rather than the really, really heavy stuff. So I find a nice sort of simpler beat, but then with a really like fun drum solo coming down the kit or something like that. very my absolute hero is Neil Peart from Rush. So obviously these sort of big, huge feels that he was putting out, it's just I love it. I'm most fun to play of anything.
That's cool.
And a touch of Muse, actually. Definitely a touch of Muse. I forgot.
Yeah.
Love a bit of Muse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can't go wrong. But so with all these like inspirations, they all kind of culminate. They're bound to all culminate to make your own unique sound. So do you listen to your own music just like in your own time?
I sometimes do. So it's more to do with if we've got a performance coming up, I tend to like to hear it back and to have a lot of thoughts when we write, especially. We think about the performance as we're writing. So a big thing is like, oh, how am I going to present this to a crowd? How is this going to be inclusive to the audience? And how can we make it really fun and exciting? So to get myself in the mood for a gig, I'll often put on a few of our tracks, especially maybe the ones I haven't rehearsed as much recently. I'll have a listen through and get some ideas, just kind of generate those in my head a bit, ready for the performance. Doesn't always get a plan, but it tends to be more that way. One or two of them are on my sort of private playlist. So yeah, definitely, because we kind of try and write what we want to hear at that point in time. So instead of, I guess, molding it into something specifically marketable for a particular audience, we're like, okay, what do we want to hear, and how can we make it sound like us? That's more our writing process. So yeah, I listen to it every now and then.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. What about
you,
Tom?
Yeah, to be fair, it's the same for myself, really. Obviously, when you go through the sort of the writing and the recording, you've absolutely played it to death. But it's very good, I find, to sort of every once in a while, every couple of months, go back, listen to the songs again, and just remember the sort of mind space you were in at the time of writing. Because it's so easy, as you know, you're doing gig after gig after gig, and you think, oh, I'll make a little change here, a little change there. You could really drift from what was the original concept. So it is very good to go back, listen, just refresh yourself, really.
I think you bring something interesting up there as well, because I guess for the performers, it's not necessarily just, I mean, obviously we want to evoke feelings for the listener, right? So when your audience listens to it, and a really good example, actually, just this last week, me and Aaron went to a play put on by our good friend in Let's Talk Music, that's Marie. And she used one of our songs, Chosen, in her play, and it was a completely different expression of how we'd written it in the first place. So for me, when I listen to Chosen, for example, it's a lot of memories, and it's obviously what I originally wrote the song about, all that kind of stuff. But then I guess when we listen back to it, it's a completely different experience to the people who are listening to it who weren't involved in that writing process. So yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that it's more like evokes memories, I guess, for us, which is I want to feel that nostalgia. It's great for it. So.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So I'm going to nick Riley's question since he nicked one of mine. So how did you come up with the name Regional One?
Yeah, so there's a few reasons for this one. One of the things that myself and Stevie, our guitarist, have done more recently, and this is actually kind of a post reasoning for the name, but we were just having like a lot of creative thoughts when we write. We're very image based as well, so we think about performance, we think about maybe what a music video could look like as well. And we're quite inspired by a lot of very image based. So Mid-Journey, for example, has been really useful for us lately. We'll come up with like a scene that we really like, and we can write around that. So the name Regional One is based on this kind of dystopian future where Regional One is the overarching, essentially, I guess you could say, company that runs the world, right? It's the overarching force that has taken over absolutely everything. It's in everyone's lives. You can't avoid it. And so it became based more on that. Whereas originally the name was more simple. I went to college down in Bournemouth, and it's a place called the Academy of Contemporary Music Regional. And we were sort of the first rock band out of there, so Regional One. That's how it initially came about. But it's evolved since then.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's evolved a lot from going from the first band of Regional to a big old dystopian kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And with our, we've got a release that should be coming out a few weeks after, hopefully, this release, which will be sort of part 2 to our initial original EP, which is an EP called Sold, and that has a lot of concepts in there that are then followed on in this next EP. And we're hoping, if we can get funding, we'll be looking at an album in the future that will be sort of the third part and conclusion to this kind of, I guess, arc of 3 CDs that we're aiming to release.
Oh, that's cool. Like almost telling up kind of a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very much.
I think that's what we want to do with our music, is tell stories as well, and hopefully that reflects in the music videos. We've got some pretty wacky music videos, but they all tie together eventually. If people pay attention to it, there are little bits that tie all the music videos together, and we'll continue to do that throughout the next EP and the album.
That's cool. I love it how people all like link songs and like music videos together. It's like with My Chemical Romance per se, with like the Danger Days album. They linked all the videos they did for those songs on that album. They linked all of those together to tell like almost kind of story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that makes something really interesting. So that's what we aim for, anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is really interesting.
Even just like the albums themselves, if there's like a clear, coherent story, or not even like coherent, if you can like walk away from an album that's kind of always got a running thread, you can make your own interpretations of like, so that meant that, because like here it said this.
I think one of the albums that I was going to say, one of the albums that do that really well, if you're looking for something to listen to, The House of Golden Bones, Part 1 and Part 2 by Stone Sour. They're both themed albums. The first one ties into the second one directly, and I think they actually wrote a comic around the themes in the album as well. But if you on the inside of, if you buy a physical album, you've got like normally the lyrics in a little booklet. On this one, it's actually just a written story that follows all the songs throughout the 2 albums, which that inspired me quite a lot in terms of writing. I think that's one that always comes back to me as really interesting and something that would be nice to, I guess, evolve.
Yeah. There's also one other set of albums that I'd actually like to talk about, going off like the story kind of arc of albums. Ice Nine Kills, with both Silver Scream albums, because they both like kind of mix into the story of a serial killer who is yet to be identified, but they know that he's going around and killing all these people, which is it's a cool story. They do it with the music videos as well, which is even better. And they clearly have a bit. They kind of have like every other song that have a bit at the end that has like a bit of the music video on it on the album. So it'll go along with saying, "Oh, this happened, and then this happened," and then go to the next song.
That's really cool. I'll check that out. The balance is really difficult, I think, especially with music videos, is trying to get it so that there's kind of like a chronological order to it, but you don't have to watch it in that order to understand what's going on. I think finding that balance is really tough. So I'll give that a look.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'd also go and check. I'd also go and check Ice Nine Kills out, because they're playing Download this year as well.
Good shout. Yes.
Yeah. They are. I have got to say, they are an amazing band to see live.
I'd like to link on to the question Tom asked earlier about the name origin of the band. Are there any band names that you thought of that didn't quite make the cut in the end?
No, actually, this was like kind of the first one, and the one we stuck by, and building a concept around it helped a bit, I think. But no, this was it.
Oh,
that's cool. Like, we never get like a straight up no. We always get like some people will always have like names that they'd thought of but didn't use, but we never get no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry Tom, I did just try a spanner in the works that question, so you can take one of mine.
That's fine. So are there any bands at this point in time that you are like that are up and coming per se that you think are doing quite well for themselves?
Aaron, I think you should take this one because I've been chatting my mouth off. So
yeah, for sure. Obviously, I'm gonna plug the Bournemouth scene. We're really lucky where we live at the moment. There's great venues for gigs. There's great bands going. It's a real friendly atmosphere whenever you go to a show or play a show. A couple off the top of my head, there's a band called Grove Warden. They're doing exceptionally well. They're a great bunch of guys. So fun and funny to work with. We actually, I believe, is it this weekend coming that we're playing with them?
So it'll be the 3rd of June. It will happen by the time this episode's out, but there's a really, really good show down in Bournemouth put on by Let's Talk Music, which is in support of Teenage Cancer Trust. That's Rock Beats Cancer. There's one in October as well. We may or may not be there. So Rock Beats Cancer. Keep an eye out for if you're in
It's a
Dorset.
regular thing, yeah.
We shall mention that on the old Instagram for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Cheers.
People know.
If there's like any link to donate, I'll put it in the description of the episode.
Oh yes, there is. Yeah, please.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, if you just send that over to the Instagram, I'll make a little reminder to make sure that goes in the description.
Lovely stuff.
Awesome.
Oh,
yeah, great.
yeah, there are a lot of good bands around Bournemouth, especially. Funny enough, I'm wearing one of their t-shirts. South of Salem.
Yes, they're going mad at the moment. They're doing really well.
Yeah, we're quite good friends with their lead singer and their guitarist.
Oh, nice one. Yeah.
Stuff, yeah.
Joey and Cody, they're lovely guys. We had them on the podcast last month, was it?
Oh, it was a few months ago by now, I feel.
Yeah, I think it was a few months ago. We had them on the podcast. It was just chaos.
Yeah.
By the time it comes out, it will be a few months.
Yeah. So Joey actually, he's been pretty supportive on the local scene for quite a while down in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Before we released our current EP, we had earlier demo versions of two of our tracks, Smoke It Away and Rise. And Joey actually made some lyric videos for those back in the day. They're pretty good.
Really?
They're really good. Yeah.
I know that he's a good art, like a good like drawing artist and all that as well, like all that kind of stuff. So they definitely would look good.
Yeah, they're cool. They're hidden on our YouTube channel. They can't be accessed by the public, but we will always have them there.
You'll have them just in case you want to release them.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, it's completely different versions of Rise, especially is very different. So it's quite interesting to hear it back.
That's cool. That's cool to hear.
So, kind of moving on slightly, are there any venues that are really a bucket list for you to play?
Wembley.
Yes. That's basically
Donington.
the best.
yeah, Wembley and Donington. I think that's the ones.
The one that we never have. I don't think we don't have Wembley often, do we?
No,
we don't have. I don't think we have. That's Download.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've had a couple of. That's a couple of people who've probably mentioned Download.
Apologies. So keep going on.
And say in terms of more realistic sizes for now. Some of the venues I want to play in Camden Underworld. That's meant to be a really fun venue.
Underworld is a great venue. I saw Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes there back in December, and that it's just a small venue, but it works.
That's cool. I like the tightly packed shows. They feel more intimate, and you can sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit restless on stage, so I run into the crowd a bit.
Yeah. There's a pub in Camden called the Dev where they do like a lot of like rock and that kind of metal shows.
Nice.
It is so packed there. Like it's always packed. Like we helped a band out there one weekend, and it got to them coming on stage. I could barely move.
What you want?
It was crazy.
Yeah, I've written that one down.
Really
was that the Dev? Was it
the Dev? Yeah, just the DEV.
Perfect.
I believe. I think I sent you a list of venues. Like all
I think
the,
it was
the
on
Black
there,
Heart
yeah.
and all that. Yeah, I think it was on there. But yeah, they're really good venues.
Nice. Yeah. Cheers for that. We're going to be putting on some tours soon, so really appreciate any input on that. It's really helpful.
No problem. And obviously we had to plug Lafayette because that is an amazing underground bar. Like it's just like an underground. It's just a bar in King's Cross, but the whole venue is just underground.
Oh, Lafayette's a brilliant venue. Sorry, I keep hearing like really loud banging downstairs. I thought there was someone here, but there's not. So we're good.
Riley's been convinced that he's getting invaded.
No, yeah. I really do. It seems like it's only ever when there's no one else in your home where you always hear everything around you.
Yeah.
It always sounds like someone's coming up the stairs, but I think we're all right. So,
well, we'll keep an eye on the background of your camera.
Yeah. Hopefully, if anyone comes in, I'll get a bit of a pre-warning.
Yeah. And tell you what, if you like underground venues, down by us, we've got a place called the Bear Cave. We've not announced
this.
Go on,
I think I know that one. I think yeah, South of Salem's old drummer like promotes that a lot.
Yeah, man.
Pip. I'm quite good friends with Pip.
It's a great venue that I do recommend if you're coming down, check it out. We haven't announced this as of recording yet, but by the time this is out, should be fine. But we're going to be releasing our next EP on the 28th of July down at the Bear Cave. So if you guys happen to be about, come on down. It's going to be an awesome show. Who knows who's on support at this point, but we'll know by then.
I'll try and make it down for that. That'll be like the week of my birthday. That'll be like a couple of weeks after my birthday.
Oh, well, we'll definitely be celebrating. So.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'll be down for it.
Yeah, right that
So
down. I'll have a look.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. So we've probably got enough time to squeeze one or two more questions in for this first part.
Get another one.
Yeah.
So if you was to collaborate with, say, either a band or an artist with yourselves, who would you pick and why?
Here you go, Aaron. Go for it.
That's a real tough one. It's hard
We've
to
got
think.
a whole lot of tough questions in this whole podcast.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. No, I like it. It sort of make you think on your feet a bit. But the one that that's always sort of jumped out as me is not as much of a writing collaboration, but you probably saw when Metallica did that show with the big orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something like that I think would be super cool, actually. Def
Kind of
Leppard
like
have
all
done
the,
it recently as well. So they've really
kind of
become
like
more...
the Royal Albert Hall.
That would be nice,
yeah.
That would be the dream. I think I'm with you there, Aaron. In terms of the best collaboration we could do, definitely an orchestra, because we've got a bit of room for that drama, I think. I mean, Chosen was originally written with violins for the lead guitar, and there was a saxophone solo instead of a guitar solo.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to do that.
Nothing better than a saxophone solo.
Yeah.
And it's the sexiest instrument, dude.
100%.
So good.
Yeah, it's one of those I wish I could play. I feel like I'm really dressed to play the saxophone right now.
Yeah.
You look,
Shades on.
you look like
Yeah.
He looks like he's actually going to go out and ask people if they've paid their taxes.
Yeah, I'll
So
be
two
knocking on the
different
door
vibes
asking for a
somehow are the
TV
same.
license next.
Yeah.
Yeah. They never turn up.
I think we've got enough time for one more question from Riley.
Yeah, I think I can squeeze this one in. It's quite a quick, simple one. Are there any bands that you wish that you could have seen live that now you may not have the chance to see?
Oh, Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Queen. Yeah. Probably.
100%.
I mean, you can technically still see Queen, but not like the original.
Yeah, but not with Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
As great as Adam Lambert is, there's only one Freddie Mercury.
Man, that's some big shoes to fill, and I don't think.
I don't think there's many people that can fill them to the extent that Adam Lambert does, but Adam Lambert still, like, no one.
It's not the same thing. I think they've gone for a different vibe with it, and I think I'd like to see a lot of bands in their heyday, like the Rolling Stones. I'd really like to have seen like as they were, not as they are. Same with bands like Led Zeppelin, I think. Iron Maiden, to be fair, they're still kicking it. Like they're doing really well. They're still absolutely nailing
Bruce Dickinson runs around the stage at his age right now like it's nothing. I saw him last year at Download, and he was not even kidding, sprinting up and down the stage like he was still like in his 30s. He's amazing.
Normally, I wouldn't be up for seeing too many. I mean, I think a lot of sort of, I guess you could say, legacy bands do tend to dominate the headline slots at festivals. And like bands like Kiss, I've seen, and Guns N' Roses, and I felt really let down by them. But
agreed.
Iron Maiden still nail it.
Iron Maiden nail it. I saw Kiss at Download last year. I stayed for about 4 songs and left.
Yeah, we were saying I didn't want to see someone's granddad like doing this, like this massive weird.
And then
time.
I think it was the same year. It was the same month. I went to go see Guns N' Roses as well. And that was a bit of a disappointment. Apart from maybe Slash and the rest, I think it was just Axl that kind of just sounded a bit like Mickey Mouse.
And he looks a lot like I always thought he looked like Keith Lemon.
Looks like Keith Lemon. Sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it's quite an odd combination.
That's odd, but just it's the perfect way to describe.
Not right.
Time.
And nowadays he looks like the villain from the Goonies.
Oh God! But Adam, do you have any?
But I'd see that. Someone told me that. And I thought, oh, you've ruined it for me forever.
Aaron, do you have any more bands that you'd like to add to the list? Or
again, it does come down to it would be more bands in their heyday. I think when it was their real, when they were at their peak, which is a lot of sort of the bands that we like being rock and metal and everything. And their heyday was the 80s and the 90s and the 70s and everything. So yeah, now it sometimes feels more when you see them now. It's sort of a tribute to their former selves. So I think back in the day to see them, but for me, it's always going to be Rush as well. I never got to see them. I'm gutted.
Yeah.
Tell you what, let's end that on a high note. I did see Linkin Park live just before. Well, in 2014 at Download actually, and I think out of the bands that I'm really, really happy I got to see before they ended, that's the one, man. That was
yeah,
amazing.
they are. That is definitely one that I would have wanted to see, Linkin Park with Chester.
Yeah.
So it would have been just brilliant to see him.
I think it's the best performance I've seen ever. That was phenomenal, that show. Amazing.
I always say this, but Linkin Park was the first ever metal rock band that I'd ever listened to. That was the first album I ever got.
Great gateway, right?
Yeah, they were the first album I ever got. Actually, technically, they were the second band that I'd ever listened to. First being Red Hot Chili Peppers, but
nice.
that's more a bit indie, bit more indie rock than but Linkin Park.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic band.
But
Definitely, 100%.
I believe this kind of brings us to the end of part one, because we're out of time. So I know that this is the end of part one. But we're entering the I like to call them the we started to get bored questions, where we got really bored of writing interview questions. I thought, fuck it, let's see what else we can do.
Nice.
So we'll see you after the break.
Cool.
And welcome back to part two. So we'll pick right back up where we left off, and I believe it is Tom's question.
Yes. So getting to the nice, proper, good, interesting questions. We'll probably have you sitting there scratching your heads on thinking about it.
For at least 35 minutes, because we really need the runtime.
Yes. So is there any like rare memorabilia that you own? Like something that no one else would ever own?
Or just
like
genuine items.
Just anything.
We got some weird props from the Soul music video I've still got lying about in a garage. Yeah, so we've got like some scales that are like old vintage, and yeah, we got some pretty weird items that we use as props. But other than that, I'm aware we've got some war medals somewhere from some of my great grandfather. But other than that, I don't think so.
That's cool.
Aaron, do you have any?
I think the only thing I suppose is I'm quite a big Formula One fan. I've been to a few of the races, and when they let you on the track, you find like little bits of car and bits of tire and stuff. So I've got a little box, and I've kept quite a lot of these little bits. And
that's really good.
He's building a car.
Yeah, literally.
I was about to say that he's putting it all in the box, thinking I could build a car one day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm assuming the plan is eventually you're just going to duct tape loads together to make your own Frankenstein of a Formula One car.
That's the end.
Car.
Yeah, like super gluing it all.
Yeah. Tom, I do actually want to take this time to apologise to you, because when you first asked this question, I thought it was going to be really shit. I kind of expected everyone to go, "No, mate, nothing." But so far, we've not had anyone
get some crackers out of it.
Yeah, so
get some crackers out of it. I mean, when was it? Yeah, it was the first. Well, one of the first bands that we asked. They said, "Oh, we've got Buck Cherry's guitar." What was it?
Wasn't it? No, wasn't it an amp? But it was like the amp tray.
Yeah, they got Buck Cherry's old like amp tray. No, it was the pedal tray.
That was it.
You know what? Part of our drum kit, actually, now I think about it, part of our drum kit, according to my old drum tutor, was Cozy Powell's drum stand. So that's kind of a really weak claim to fame, but it's there. So I think it's the ride stand. Yeah, I think that's it. Though.
That still counts.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Missed that one, sorry.
If you need another spare part of a drum, I've always got I've always got a bit of a drum up there,
Oh,
signed
Nice.
by the entirety of Fozzy.
Chris
Oh,
Jericho's
brilliant.
Oh,
band.
man.
Yeah.
Saw Fozzy recently. They were tight, man.
Oh,
we
they
didn't
are
get to hear them
amazing.
sing, unfortunately.
No?
No, we were. God, I say this so much.
Jericho's was absolutely fucked that week,
Yeah, Tom,
and
don't
he
take this away
couldn't
from me.
perform for at least 2 days.
So
And then
we
I'll let Riley.
were the lucky ones who got to be part of. I don't know if you saw it, but we got to be part of the Ultimate Fozzy Fan Fest, where we heard the entirety of the new album like 6 months early, which was pretty mental.
Oh, sick.
Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an odd experience, but it was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty surreal.
Definitely.
Especially with someone who decided to ask Chris Jericho how big his cock was. But
All right.
but bearing in mind, we were just leaving just as they started that Q&A, and all I heard was him pull out a card, and he went, "Chris Jericho, how big is your cock?" I don't think he answered it.
Yeah.
That's
Other things that are quite big are festivals. So if you could have your own festival,
That was a fucking good segue.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Oh,
really
my
good at it,
fucking
you know.
God. That
Wow,
was
so
actually really
nice.
fucking good.
If you could have your own festival, what 3 bands would you to have headline your festival?
Do they have to be active bands, or is this like a dream?
Nah, this is not a dream scenario.
Right, I'm going to call it for us. I'll see what you think, Aaron. So, Queen, Rush, Muse.
That's solid.
Pretty good. That would be a solid
Yeah,
lineup.
it's not bad. I reckon.
Yeah.
I did want to say something about Rush earlier. I saw a performance that they did with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who do South Park.
Yeah.
I watched the entirety of that whole concert that they did, just of South Park songs, and it was definitely an experience.
That was pretty weird, yeah.
Yeah, they
It was-
Geddy Lee did a really cool performance. I think he joined Primus on stage to play one of their songs.
Yeah.
And that was pretty wild. That's like 2 of the best bassists ever, basically.
That's cool. They had, I think they had Ween there with them as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the band. Yeah, it was an odd experience, but it looked cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really big, good friends with the South Park a lot. So I bet they did this with that performance. I sort of read into it a bit, and they didn't tell Matt at all that it was going to happen, and they just suddenly brought Matt on stage. Like, oh, here you go, you can play Rush now. But, okay. Yeah.
It sounded crazy. I would have wanted to go to that because it was at Red Rocks, which whenever we have an American band on, they always mention Red Rocks.
Yeah, that is
It
really cool.
looks so cool.
Looks so like aesthetically pleasing. It just
I
looks
think a
like
big callback to the first segment of this podcast of venues that we really want to play. Red Rocks is certainly one of them.
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
definitely.
Yeah, but Aaron, would you second Simon on the festival lineup, or is there anyone that you change?
I tend to agree. Yeah, it's a pretty good start. I would obviously say Slipknot. I think they're one of just the best headlining bands out there.
Yeah,
You know, I've sort of,
100%.
Can't wait for Download for them again, man. They're so good.
Yeah.
For all of those headliners, apart from Bring Me the Horizon, it'll be my first time seeing them.
Yeah.
So I had never seen Slipknot, never seen Metallica. I just can't wait.
I'm
so
Metallica,
thing
but
is,
Slipknot will blow your mind.
Yeah.
I am so gutted that I can't go because I love Bring Me the Horizon. I'm hoping. I'm not there, but I'm hoping for Tom's sake that they are going to play some of the stuff from the older albums, because one of my favorite Bring Me the Horizon songs has always been "Diamonds Aren't Forever." Thing is, Tom, have you actually listened to Suicide Season, or have you not?
Not most of it. I've listened to probably 2 songs off of it.
Because in my opinion, some of their best songs are still on that album. And so when we went to see them, they didn't play anything earlier than Sempiternal, which I guess is to be expected. But
at their Reading performance last year, they did a lot of old songs.
Yeah.
Apparently.
They definitely
But,
withstand the test of time, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they've finally been given the
There's
chance.
one.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked. Like, I'm kind of glad, but I'm kind of not, because obviously Five Finger Death Punch pulled out, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, they've been replaced by one of the bands I've been wanting to see for ages.
Skindred
I
are
missed
so
them-
good.
I missed them last year. I missed them last year. I think to go see Airborne. Yeah, to go see Airborne, and now they're playing again. And I've even said to the people I'm going with, we're not missing Skindred. We can't
Don't
miss
miss
Skindred.
Yeah, they are definitely. I would say they're one of the strong. They'll be a headliner in a few years, in my opinion. If their
Absolutely.
next album pops off, they deserve it more than any other band. They are. Those
Yeah.
guys work hard, man.
Benji is such a nice guy. He actually takes the time to message to respond to the fans.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is I think last year the plan was for this year to get Benji on the podcast.
Man, that'd be fantastic.
But,
yeah. If you can,
I
know he's
I wish we
really
could.
supportive of the UK music scene as well. That's another big thing that really stands out to me.
I
I've
mean-
seen them a bunch of times, but every time they're like, "Thank you so much for coming out, supporting UK music, local music, all that stuff." So they're one of the ones who deserve it most.
It's definitely a bucket list to see and to have on. I feel our plan, once we start like making it and we get studio sessions started, then we're going to really try push to get people like Benji Webb on.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic, yeah.
There's
Tom,
one song there's a song that I want to plug that has Benji in it as well, which is one of my other favourite bands, which is Florence Black.
Oh yes,
They're
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, their song they did with Benji called Gunshot is a fucking masterpiece.
I think
in
that might be
my
the Ramesh
opinion.
recording, but I think
But,
so. We recorded our latest EP up in Wales actually, and the guy who runs a studio there, fantastic. His name's Ramesh Dodan Goda, and he's quite aware of Skindred, I believe. But he's recorded with Florence Black. I believe they did their latest album there, and it's fantastic. They went up a whole new level.
I love their new album. It's fucking amazing.
Tight, right? Super tight. And he also produces Bring Me the Horizon lately as well. He did their Ammo album and that. So
wow.
big shout out to Ramesh. He's absolutely
cool.
fantastic. Absolutely brilliant man. Doesn't get enough recognition.
That is cool that is amazing to hear. But yeah, Florence Black's new album is just like on top. There is not a song on there that I don't like.
Yeah, definitely.
Like normally you'll get on an album, you might get like one or two songs you don't like. With that album, is it called Sun and Moon? I think it's called Sun and Moon. Yeah, it is one of them albums that I just can't not hate a song on there.
Are they on? Were they on? They were on last year, weren't they? At Nozfest, Aaron,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
they
man. Yeah, they
brilliant,
were
yeah.
super awesome, man. Yeah, I
But
remember we had a
Florence
chat with
Black is a band that I still need to see live. I've been a fan for them for a good year or so. They're still on my to see list because I'm
they're
not
really
even
tight
seen
live
them
as
yet.
well.
Yeah,
They're worth it. Yeah. Are you guys traveling down for Nozfest at all this year?
When is that?
That is August 2023, 12th of August.
Oh,
We tend to me and Aaron tend
The
to work
4th
the
of
stage on
August.
that one. The 12th.
The 12th. I might actually come down for that, to be honest.
It's good
It
Southampton
depends.
show that.
I don't think we've got anything on, but
I'll have a look.
100% down for it.
I recommend chatting to every band you see there because they're all normally very, very nice. We tend to, like I say, we help with the stage work there with a few of the guys there, and Jodie, the promoter, and actually she does the whole thing. But you've got South of Salem there, you've got Hollow Star, Collateral, Beth Blade, These Wicked Rivers, Sam Miller, White Raven Down, Black Lakes, and I think it's Yambo. I can't see the
We've had
Jazz Pain
a good
headline.
couple of those on.
Yeah,
We've
man.
had we had Black Lakes on. They were a good
That's
old
great.
experience
That's
to
a
have
brilliant
on,
episode.
as well as we had Benny from Collateral on,
Nice.
which was quite cool.
They're really good.
They're really tight,
Yeah.
They're getting up there 100%. They're getting up there this year. They're one of those bands that are probably going to hopefully skyrocket. So
Nice. Well, if it's not sold out by the time this podcast goes live, big shout out to Nozfest. Get yourself down to Southampton. That is a really, really great show.
Yeah, definitely.
Great day that is.
Cool. But back to the questions, because
we got those, didn't we?
Yeah.
I can keep on completely forgetting that we got questions. So, are there any like pre-show rituals that you would do before you go on stage? Like, is there anything that you'll do as a group or anything? This is the question that we've just been asking.
We shit a lot.
Yeah.
I tend to, a bit boring, but I do 1 or 2 stretches, do a few warm-ups. We tend to just, when we go on stage, bit of a fist bump, like, let's go, boys. But then it's like, you're in the zone. When you're on stage, you become the character, or, you know, you become part of the stage and the performance is in. But before that, we like hanging out with people, man. We'll always get a drink at the bar before, always say hello to everyone. We're quite social prior to going on stage, and certainly after as well, once we've dried off all the sweat. We tend to just hang out quite a bit. We have got into this awful habit of counting how many poos we have between us at each venue. A bit competitive.
See who's done the most.
Yeah. If you're a performer and you're listening, you might understand there's the pre-gig shit. That's a thing.
Other than that, warm-ups.
Warm-ups.
Hydrate, you know.
Well, you're versatile. You can definitely say that.
Yeah. What did we get? Was it 11 in London? That was pretty good.
Yeah, not 11 or 9, something like that.
No, we did one where it was like, I think it was 3 each. Feel free to cut this if you want.
No.
We normally keep this in. It's all fun. It's all fun and games at the end of the day.
Nice. Lost the PG rating now, you know.
That was gone.
It hasn't been PG for a long time.
So this is a question that I'm going to ask that isn't shit related. So kind of lowering the bar here a bit. But if you had a mascot that cannot be an animal, so it's got to be like a windowsill or a screwdriver, what would you have?
I think it would be. I think Aaron's got this.
For the best, I think.
If you don't say what I think you're going to say, very disappointed.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah, plant or something, a vegetable. Or
I'm thinking a tractor.
A tractor. Yeah.
Combined harvester.
Combined harvester.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brand new.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
We've had some odd answers to that, haven't we, Riley?
Give us a weird one.
It's one of my favourite questions, easily.
It is one of the staples of this podcast now, only because people come up with random shit just to come up with.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron got us all into growing our own. Aaron got us into growing our own sort of fruit and vegetable, and then we all played Farming Simulator for a bit, which
I've been playing Farming Simulator lately.
It is such a relaxing game to play.
It's very
It's one of those games where you can just sit down and relax, just put on a bit of music and just chill out.
I'm a bit too dense Farming Simulator because I thought, fuck it, it's a game about farming. I don't need a tutorial.
So what was it that you thought? What was it that you was playing? Was it like Power Wash Simulator?
Oh, mate, Power Wash Simulator is the shit, and I will not take any slander. I love it.
I've seen there's a lawnmower simulator.
I have not got to that yet.
Sort of
House Flipper. I've been playing a lot of House Flipper.
That's great. I love.
I've got like 200 hours on it. It is so good. Genuinely.
Could you imagine if we converted these into real life skills? How much success we'd find in life? Simulator's more fun.
Tom, can we turn into a house renovation podcast?
Yeah.
That'd be a great episode.
Before and after,
renovating a house.
No, right. I reckon we have an episode. If we ever like get a studio, we do a podcast when we're painting the walls and shit. I think that'd be great.
Or just do a live stream.
Be brilliant.
Oh my god. Do like a live stream on like Instagram or something. Or do YouTube live.
We've got an idea.
Or YouTube live of us just decorating our fucking studio.
And you've heard it here first. So come back in 3 years' time. This episode, you heard the idea get sprouted. Oh, God.
So I'm kind of running out of questions now.
Oh, you've got none. Oh, no,
I've got like one or two. I've got two questions left.
That's enough. Go ahead.
So, what would you say is your favourite performance of your own? If you could pick.
Ooh, man, that's tough. We had one recently that was fucking cool. So we accepted this random show. We just had a message. Well, I saw a post on Facebook and they were just looking for a band for that weekend. And we've got quite a good reputation lately of just accepting shows last minute where bands are pulled out and stuff. So we tend to be quite reliable in the Southwest for that. And we could be doing like 3 shows a weekend quite comfortably, but very much on the Thursday. We know that. One of the ones we did recently is a place called The Barn in a small town called Ringwood near us. And we didn't really know what to expect at this venue because it's pretty new. And we're playing with the Bon Jovi tribute. Yeah, never heard of it, never knew it existed. We turned up and it was phenomenal. The venue's insane. The biggest stage we've played to date. And the crowd were real fun because it seems Bon Jovi fans are just up for it. They just want to play, man. They just want to have fun.
Bon Jovi fans are up for anything.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so much fun. We were like, so much audience participation, lots of space to run around. And that was like at the end of a weekend of pretty heavy shows. So yeah, I think that's one of my favorites so far.
Good way to end it.
Yeah, man. What about you, Aaron?
Obviously they're all very good, but I think it's very easy as a musician to criticize yourself over little things once you've played. You sit there and you come off, don't get me wrong, it could be a phenomenal show, but you think, something was a little bit out on this one particular beat of a certain song or something like that. But we played, it was that show we played at Obsidian with Who's Amy.
Yeah, man.
And I just felt that from a personal performance side of things, that was a faultless show. Everything I did on that particular show was awesome, and the whole show was great. Everyone did awesome. It was, but for that was
one of the musically most tight performances we've had ever.
That's it. Yeah, complete other end of the spectrum. So like the Barn, Simon was just talking about, is a huge venue. It's but this Obsidian, it's like this tiny. It's literally like the size of somebody's living room. So it was just a really sort of intimate show.
To give you perspective,
really
the stage is like I had to put a table in front of the stage so that I could fit my other foot on the stage.
I set my drums up and it's half
small
the stage gone. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So good, like, it's like you just sort of run out into the crowd on those kind of shows. And Aaron, I don't know if you're going to talk about the ad-lib harmonica solo that came from the audience.
Yes. We're really friendly with the guys who run the bar. We love playing there. I think they love having us and everything. And the guy there, we were in one of our songs, "Smoking Away." We sort of break down the middle of the song and sort of have introductions for each member, and a sort of a little solo goes with it. And we started doing this and everything. I was just zoned into what I was doing. I didn't really notice anything happening. Simon, I think you must have spotted the guy from the bar was at the back of the room, and he was just shredding on the harmonica.
Yeah, so we didn't even know. me and Callum looked at each other, our bass player, and we had a chat about it afterwards. We both thought there was like some weird sound coming out the guitar or something. And then we zoned in on this guy right at the back of the room, just jamming away on his harmonica. I was like, get that man up on the stage right now. So we gave him a harmonica solo and just jammed along for a bit.
Oh, mate, that sounds brilliant.
It felt like really nice, man. It was awesome because none of it's planned, and it was just like it was really raw, and it was a great bit of music. I think the crowd didn't really know what was going on at first. We certainly didn't. So that was awesome, man.
Yeah, that was a real fun show.
That's brilliant. But
that actually sounds brilliant.
But so that sounds like quite a performance. And you know what? I'm just trying to think of a segue on the fly for this one. Don't have one. The con will be winners. But is there anywhere in a film that you would put a specific song of yours?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. Yeah. I feel like, we could say the obvious. I like rock songs that we sort of do. They fit into action films very, very well. But I think from a personal sort of perspective thing, I'd love to see one of our songs used in like a Jurassic Park movie. I don't know where and I don't know how, but if it was to go in, that would be the one for me.
And Aaron, before your time, we used to walk on to, I made an edit of the Jurassic World 1 trailer where it's like, have you ever seen a dinosaur before? And we have an outfit that we haven't yet used for Stevie, a big inflatable dinosaur. We're going to get him to walk on in that. That'll be... It was good. It was good.
Wow.
There we go. That's how you make your dreams come true.
Yeah, exactly. We do these little things. We used to do it to Star Wars mixed with a load of political speeches. So Duel of the Fates with a load of political speeches going absolutely like getting angrier and angrier throughout, and then we'd come on stage to that. That was good fun. That was a laugh. I think I like if how do I put it? If Guy Ritchie made Lord of the Rings, the bit where Frodo and Sam are just right at the end, just coming up on the volcano. I'd like to see, I think, Hero, which is going to be the title track to this new EP. I think that song would fit well there. But it would have to be a different director. It couldn't be Jackson. Too epic for us. Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of follow off from Riley's question here. So they're making Regional 1 the biopic. What celebrity do you think would play you?
Ooh.
Oh,
That's
the
hard.
guy's
That's
name.
hard.
Yeah, sorry.
That's a good one.
Sorry, hold the thought a sec.
Yeah.
So we told you we got some head scratches.
I know the guy, but I can't think of his name. Hold on.
Right, so that bit we're probably going to have to bleep.
So that's why we've got an editor, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fantastic. Shanice, if you're listening, which you will be, I assume, leave that as a beep and make them question who it was.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can have a little guessing game.
Yeah.
It's like a quiz show. I'm dressed for the occasion, so...
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, though. I've been sitting here thinking Simon looks like a certain celebrity that I think he would suit.
Go for it, because I'm lost.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood? Yeah.
You've got a resemblance of Elijah Wood.
Let's see the Facebook. See the comparison. Yeah, I can get that. I can get on board with that. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. I'll say that.
Oh, bear with. Can't think of
Yeah,
the
I'll go
guys.
for that.
I kind of see it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. Matt Smith. From the old
Yeah. Yes.
I once had somebody in a bar.
It fits.
I see that
It was Sound Circus, Simon, you'll know. And obviously it's darker there. And someone came running up to me and generally thought I was actually Matt Smith from...
Mate, when you're shaved, you look pretty similar to Matt Smith, to be fair.
Rocking the beard at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Back in April,
could we have two Doctor Who's? Could we? Can I have David Tennant? Would that be okay? That'd be sick.
Just double it up.
To be fair, back in April,
Doctor 2.
Doctor 2. That's the title of the biopic. Yeah, back in April, we'd met someone who is clearly resembled Keanu Reeves.
Nice.
He genuinely looks so much like him. Anyway,
that's an easy fix.
Yeah.
I am quite cautious of time because we have two questions, but I don't know if we've got time to squeeze them in here. So
Speed fire round.
one question definitely. So we might have to do one question and then
might need to squeeze in a small third section if you've got the time.
Certainly.
Yeah, sure.
They don't happen. It doesn't happen often, but it shows.
Actually, it's been happening more lately.
Yeah, if we do three-part Zoom calls, they're essentially probably some of the fun ones that we've actually had.
Yeah, which I feel, Tom, without trying to suck myself off too much, the fact we've had more three-part Zoom calls in the past month, I feel it's really a testament to us getting better as hosts as well. I feel if you watch an episode that we've recorded lately to an episode we recorded 6 months ago, I feel we're a lot more comfortable in this now. We're still not perfect, don't get me wrong, but we're definitely getting better.
No one is ever perfect. There's always stuff to work on.
Yeah,
always.
Anyway, so we've had like an hour so far. It's been a pretty good interview in my opinion. I've had some good questions, had some laughs, but no more laughs, because there comes a time where we've got to get a bit serious, and that's why I'm here, really, to address the important parts, to address the important parts. So there's
get to it, Riley. Get to it.
So there's really no more time for jokes. So Tom, I will cut right to the chase. I have one question and one question only. What is the best sandwich?
No way.
No way.
we mean it gets serious. That is how serious it gets.
Right, you don't realise how serious it got.
Yeah.
So to preface this one, Aaron, drunk in any taxi, will ask that exact question.
To the taxi driver. Yep.
It gets well out of hand when there's sort of 8 of us in a taxi, and Aaron's explaining, well, what was it? Cat sandwich?
That's the thing. I don't even remember any of the answers.
Oh my god! I can't believe you got it right. For me,
That's
I'm
so
a
good.
chicken salad fan. I will go with the chicken salad co-op special. That's pretty nice.
That is a solid choice.
See,
Aaron, what you got? Rate my meal deal.
Mate, right. So I have I have 2
Oh,
favourite
/rate my
sandwiches.
meal deal.
Yeah. I have 2 very specific sandwiches and 2 very different directions of sandwich. Okay, so my first one, I think I absolutely love it. Ham, cheese, lettuce, cucumber with mayo, like a
Can't go
chicken,
wrong.
like, yeah, ham, cheese, salad.
Very classic picnic sandwich.
Yes, that's it. And then just it got to be a cheese and chutney. Oh, any old chutney will do. Love it.
Divisive but nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Chats? What you got? What you got?
You got-
I've yet to tell. I don't often eat sandwiches, but I'm more of a pasty person. I'm more of a pasty person, really.
I'm on board with that.
He says them like they're comparable.
No, they're not. But I do want to tell this story here. It's a story from my one of my godfathers. So when he was younger, it's my dad's best friend essentially. He when he'd get home, he would be very drunk and he'd make a banana sandwich, like a normal banana sandwich, but instead of slicing up the banana, he'd mash it up with a rolling pin.
Nice.
And then just put it all in a sandwich.
I mean,
I thought that
I can see that with some like chocolate spread being
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you use
it sounds
butter?
like something that would just be I don't know.
I feel like the butter might ruin it. I don't know.
Nutella.
I don't know. Nutella and mashed up banana, definitely.
Really curious now.
Yeah.
Aaron, how drunk are we
Don't
getting for
try.
this show?
Yeah. I think we
Get
need
the
to
rolling
do
pin,
a sandwich
Get a rolling
pride
pin
show.
and bananas.
For me personally, I also have 2 avenues of sandwich. That one's my go-to, and one's one I'll make rarely, but it's always good. So my go-to for me, a cheese and onion sandwich.
Oh,
yes. You can
yes.
never go wrong. A grilled onion though, grill the onion. And beautiful. I like to make those in the mornings, especially when I'm feeling too lazy to make an English. But one thing that Tom said I was weird, and we've mentioned it on the podcast before, but it was one of those, you got the days, it's just a make-do dinner, just whatever is left, just scram that. So I had, it's bread, butter, then rustic mash, because I couldn't be bothered to skin the potatoes, fish fingers, butter, bread. And
I'm aboard, yeah.
yeah, it might sound a tad bizarre, but believe me, changed my life.
And people have chip butties. Why not that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just
almost
basically
like-
mashing the chips.
I'm with it.
Almost
I'm
like
on
a
board.
fish pie.
I'm all in.
Sandwich.
Yeah, fish pie sandwich, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. It is
Riley
sublime.
knows what I'm going to say. It probably couldn't be worse than his cheese and frazzle sandwich.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
Cheese and frazzle.
every now and then we've got to bring it up.
It's going to be a staple to any podcast episode. Cheese and frazzle sandwich.
That was
that
a
you
war
made
crime,
and
to be
claimed that
honest.
it was the worst.
It was horrific. I
If
thought
you
I
don't
really
turn
liked
up for tomorrow's episode, eating that as your intro.
Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow's the next podcast will start like that.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I've got any frazzles. I'll have to have a look.
Ooh, quick run.
Yeah, I
Grab
might
it
have to
from the
run to the co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I thought crisp sandwiches great, cheese sandwiches great, bacon sandwiches great. So frazzle cheese, no, not
Have
at
to
all.
I can see the issue there. Yeah.
I feel like you'd have to melt the cheese for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Maybe do like
I
a
also
mash.
cut the cheese really thick as well.
Oh, no.
Which no, not good.
Too dense.
Yeah, but I got to say you both passed. So
Nice.
Splendid.
That's been a staple of the podcast for the past year. Just Riley's
No.
little character of the sandwich. What we've decided to name the sandwich sleuth.
sandwich,
Sandwich.
I thought that was
Oh,
good.
yeah, you need a little bit for that, you know. Then drink.
Yeah. It's getting
it's been
more
a
and
bit
more
since, like,
professional.
It's been a bit since like episode 4, I think.
Well, the question started from episode 2, I think. And then the character, was it the Karma Effect episode where the character first got established?
Yeah, where we actually contemplated bringing it in as an actual character.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
then we
happened,
did
man.
It needs to happen, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
More of that little intro. Come on, the pipe
And
just comes
little
across the
jingle.
screen. Yeah.
Every week I'm making
The
sure to
thing
bring
is,
it in
though-
slightly more naturally. Because
I think we're gonna try to. I'm gonna try and find them like a bubble pipe. So
Yeah.
he
oh god,
blows
if we
it,
can get a bubble
put
pipe,
pushes
that'd
all
be
the bubbles
brilliant.
out. That would be even better. That
Fantastic.
would
the
be even
one.
better.
But we're out of time in the second meeting, so we have only one more question left, but we can't squeeze it in here. So we will see you very briefly for the third meeting. Goodbye. And welcome to the Sacred Part 3. Do a nice Holy Grail noise.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant in post, but that was really good, Simon.
So that's
So,
the final question.
yeah, we are down to our final question. So I'll explain the rules while Tom sits there, actually. So I'm going to task you to create a band. Now, you can choose to work together or make 2 separate bands. It's up to you. You can have as many people in this band as you want, but it must have the core fundamentals of singer, drummer, bassist, guitarist, okay? You can have anyone playing any instrument. They will not magically learn that instrument. So if you want to have like, if you want to have the rev on the rain, like on the Rainmaker, he will not magically learn that, but he can.
That's an instrument I haven't heard in ages. The fucking Rainmaker.
It's the only one I can think of. You could literally, they don't have to be from the music scene, and it doesn't even really have to be an instrument. If you want to have someone just tapping a block of plasterboard, you can. But you can have anyone dead or alive. They will be alive when they're playing, unless you
That helps.
Specify that they are.
yeah, unless you specify you want them dead. But if they are alive, I guess I don't know if you can ask for them to be dead. That's not something we've came across yet. And
it's like
you-
start
No,
the
we
simulation. it'll
did.
just
I
drop
can't
in.
remember who it was, but someone asked for Lars Ulrich to be dead at the back, dead backstage.
Yeah, fair. No, that's horrible.
and you can be in the band, but you don't have to be. So I'll leave the floor down to you.
I think it should be just us four from Regional 1 all playing the accordion.
Oh god.
It's like an umpire man.
How does that work? Like I see you
What?
you squeeze it, but then you've got to also I don't know, man. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
Are you all playing one accordion, or are you?
Yeah, you
all
share it.
We're all playing the same one. Yeah. Between us, we'd figure it out.
Each got a corner each.
None of us actually play accordion, so I think all of us, between the four of us, will be able to figure it out somehow.
Yeah, that's how it
I'm going
works.
to resurrect some people for mine. I'm thinking
Yeah.
Chester on vocals, I'm thinking the rev on drums. I think that combination in itself is going to get interesting. Because also the rev on backing vocals will be sick. Then if we're going to go for that theatre. Also, backing vocals has to be probably Matt Bellamy from Muse. He's got those nice highs. Nice. He got the good mute in. Did you see that?
Yeah. Blow up everyone's ears.
I'm thinking Matt Bellamy from Muse on backing vocals, and then Aaron. Who should we have on guitar though? Or
I think
sicko guitarist, like an absolute nutter.
Well,
I feel like Jim Root could work in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the that partner with the rev actually would probably be really cool.
Yeah, and then Chester on vocals.
Yeah.
And then on bass, anyone but Flea.
Yeah.
I think Flea is incredible, but he's so annoying. He's fantastic. He's incredible. I saw them live recently, and he did like a handstand across the whole stage. Absolutely incredible. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. It's a bit annoying. I don't know what it was.
Mate, he just seems like an amazing stage presence.
Oh yeah, he carries
Definitely.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Him and Chad Smith, I think, carry the band a bit. Because I find Anthony Cletus a bit boring. I don't know. He's a little bit doesn't do much, but Flea makes up for it. To be fair. But then on bass, who do we have on bass? I don't know the name of the bassist from A Perfect Circle. Maybe I don't know the name of the player, but bassist from A Perfect Circle would be really sick. And Tina Guo on double bass. That'd be sick. That'd be nuts.
Very cool.
Who's that?
Yeah. So she's kind of the lead for Hans Zimmer's live act. She plays like electric double bass, essentially, electric violin, all sorts. She goes all over the place. But yeah, really, really, really talented.
What was the name?
Tina Guo. Guo.
The bassist of Perfect. There's been 4 actually. So
All right.
One for each string.
yeah, all 4.
At different points throughout the song.
Okay, well then, Tom, we're looking at Paz Lenchantin, Danny Lona with a H, Twiggy Ramirez, and Matt McJunkins.
Matt McJunkins has the best name.
Just
So.
I'll just put all of them.
Fair
I'll
enough.
just put all of them as bassists.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Now run that through the AI and see what happens.
Oh God. I think I've got a request for your band. I think Harmonica guy earned his spot.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
All
That would-
aboard with us.
I could get down with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
but are there any other additions, or do you reckon that's good?
I think that's good. I don't think would we need a rhythm guitar?
Oh, actually, no, I've got one.
Go on.
You know Jack Black when he does that bit on the saxophone toy on
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Black
fair.
and toy saxophone. Tom,
Yeah.
am
and on
I
rhythm guitar.
wrong, or has someone said that before?
No,
Really? I think someone mentioned it, but that's a great choice. That.
Yeah.
But is that it, or?
I can't think of anyone else. Can you?
No, I think we'll have to leave it at that before it gets too chaotic.
Okay. Well, that is all our questions. So unless there's any questions that you have for us.
I don't think.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Great.
I think of anything specific.
Okay,
I'm gonna come on down, boys. Let's have a big
Yeah.
drink and a gig.
we'll
Yeah, we
definitely
tend to-
try.
Whenever we play
Sounds like a
Bournemouth,
plan.
we just leave all the gear there and say, "I'll deal with that tomorrow." Just hit the bar, you know.
Yeah, man. Hometown shows are the ones for drinking.
The
at
ones,
the end.
Definitely. In
So-
that case, then,
Go on, Tom,
Riley just
I'll let-
standing there.
No, sorry. I'm just adding part 2 onto the drive. I
All right.
hoped you were gonna make a funny joke in the meantime.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
no.
I want to say
Oh.
thank you to Shanice and Simon for mentioning us to you guys. Thank you both very much. Appreciate that. See you at the next show.
Great. Yeah, well, thank you very much. And this will bring us to the close of our podcast. So thank you very much for coming. I've had a wonderful time.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Please go make sure that you watch the other episodes, as it is Uncensored Week. So you've got a whole week's worth of fun content to enjoy this week. Make sure you go listen to Regional 1 too, because they're proper class.
Cheers, boys.
But follow us and them on the Instagrams. Subscribe and hit that big notification bell so you can not miss any uploads, because there's 5 this week. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. But thank you very much for coming, and we will see you in the next episode, which is tomorrow.